All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and peace and salutation to the elect. This is a book called Rfid, Man's Greatest Invention or Mark of the Beast. And I'm going to read just a couple of pages in this book. But before I do that, I want to show you all basically how the Mark of the Beast technology has been going on and is being used worldwide. I'm also going to get into the word Charagma, especially because this is the year of the Charagma being the mark that the beast is going to implement, okay, and push worldwide. That has been pushed across the globe, but more so that mandatory element now coming into place, where it's no more voluntary, but it's going to be mandatory. So I want to play this quick segment, get into a couple of pages of this book, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying for the elect.
The future is a wave of a hand away. In case you missed it, here it is again. This is a whole new level of security. No keys or access cards, difficult to steal and copy, but the technology requires a certain level of commitment that's not for the faint-hearted. So this is where the microchip implant story begins, for those who want them at least. A clinical setting, a sterile environment, with some rather daunting bits of medical kit. So talk us through what happens next.
So the first part of the procedure is local anaesthetic is applied, so just your hand there. Then we'll use a scalpel just to make a small incision just there. And then finally it's the rather large needle applicator, and that will be pushed just...
I'll stop you there. For me, in my case at least, I think everyone really wants to know is, does it really hurt?
Completely pain-free.
The UK firm Biotech offers implants to businesses and individuals. It's fitted 150 implants to the UK so far, and the number's rising.
Assistive technology for disabled people, we implant. Banking, security, general users, so contactless payments, passport data, all can be stored on these microchips and embedded in your hand. Comes down to convenience, I suppose, for a lot of people. It's very hard to lose your hand. It's easy to lose your keys, your wallet, so a lot of certain demographics want that convenience.
This is one of several implant firms reportedly in discussions with British financial and legal companies. The names of the companies are being closely guarded. This isn't new technology. Microchips have been implanted in pets for many years, but the prospect of implanting them in employees has sparked concerns from trade unions.
Microchipping gives even more control and power to the employer, and that comes with inherent risks and dangers. Those risks and dangers shouldn't just be ignored by an employer. We need to take those into consideration, and they definitely shouldn't be pressuring any workers into being microchipped.
See, notice one of the things he said was to be pressured into taking it, okay? Because that's what's going to happen worldwide. It starts in the offices. Actually, it starts in the animals and using it as a means of tracking your animal. But then it moves to the office as a means of convenience, as far as not being able to carry keys or carry a wallet. And then after so long, it'll become mandatory to where either your job will have you either take a chip in order to work, or you won't be employed by that job. And then likewise, majority of the establishments for food, okay, whether it be grocery stores, restaurants, or even service stations such as gasoline or any of the other necessary items that will be staples in your house, or for you to even buy. All of those will have a mandatory chip reader to where that will be the only commerce accepted as a means of buying and selling. Okay?
The rate of implanting them in employees has sparked concerns from trade unions.
Microchipping gives even more control and power to the employer, and that comes with inherent risks and dangers. Those risks and dangers shouldn't just be ignored by the employer. They need to take those into consideration, and they definitely shouldn't be pressuring any workers into being microchipped.
Biotech companies say the technology should be voluntary and that people must have a right to privacy. But with one Swedish firm, Biohacks, claiming to have already implanted 4,000 people, there were worries microchipping could eventually become the new normal. Societies embrace the mobile phone, making us easy to track on a daily basis. But by implanting microchips, there may be few places left to truly escape from technology.
And that's the point. You're not going to be able to escape from Esau's technology, the way in which he governs and monitors and tracks people. Okay? Which is the reason why this book goes into just some quick understanding of what the RFID chip is and how it really is the mark of the beast. And so let me show this as well. I just did a quick research on Mark of the Beast 2019, and majority of these videos pop up. So, you know, for those that do not know what the Mark of the Beast is, there's countless videos, especially in the year of 2019, that are being done. And then you'll see a lot of videos here. You'll see Chief Apostle Tahar's video right here. And you'll see other brothers' videos as well, you know, just going in on that. So just a FYI. So let's do this first. Let's get into a couple of these pages. We'll read page 11, 12, and 89, and then we'll wrap up. So this is page 11 from the book RFID, Man's Greatest Invention, or Mark of the Beast. And it says, now, as you can see, according to the video, this track device called RFID is not only apparently designed to be put on the outside of things, but as you read, it means to put it on the inside of things, even people. It says, by the way, did you notice the reaction of those people? They were excited about getting an implant in their bodies. That's not just wild, but that is exactly what the Bible warned us about nearly 2,000 years ago, about a specific device, a marking device that one day would appear on the scene to not only control all the people all over the planet, it was going to monitor them as well. And it is going to be led by a guy that the Bible calls the Antichrist. And really, you know, as the scriptures say, there are many antichrists, okay? But the main one that's going to promote, you know, this technology and have it be mandatory across the globe will be Esau, the so-called white man, okay? Or as scripture says in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and only the wicked would create a device to where he could monitor and determine whether or not you buy or sell or to track you, okay? It says it's what the Bible calls the mark of the Antichrist or the mark of the beast. This is Revelation 13:11-17. Then I saw another beast come out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spoke like a dragon. He exercised all the authority of the first beast on his behalf and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose fatal wound had been healed. Talking about the Romans coming out of the Dark Ages, okay, and being reestablished in power. It says, and he performed great and miraculous signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of men. It says, because of these signs, he was given power to do on behalf of the first beast. He deceived the inhabitants of the earth. He ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast, who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. Verse, oh, well, it doesn't give the verse numbers. It says, he was given power to breathe to the image of the first beast so that it could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. Okay, and that's talking about Esau's New World Order, because really that's what he's gearing up for. All of these systems are leading up to him being able to implement the mark of the beast, the Rfid microchip, making it mandatory across the globe. But that starts with him controlling the government, controlling the military, and controlling religion. Okay, so all of those things create a beast type system, especially the cash. Okay, because he's going to take it from a society with cash to a cashless society. It says, he also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on this right hand or in his forehead, so that none could buy or sell unless he had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, so yeah, it goes into RFID tags and what those are, and all of that. So like I said, I just wanted to cover briefly those couple of pages, and then I'm gonna end off here in page 89. Let's see here. Might start out at 88. Yep, because it talks about it says we chip cats and dogs in the United States, Europe, and Japan. We have chipped salmon in the upper Northwest. We have chipped livestock. We have put RFID chips in the ear tags. We are the second largest livestock tagging company in the United States. And we are the oldest livestock tagging company in the United States. The applications are numerous. So going to show you that this technology can be used to track pretty much anything. Okay, let's read here. It says, yeah, let's read what Kevin McGrath has to say. It says, well, on a number of different fronts. First of all, we chip 1 million pets per year in the United States and 2 million pets per year in Europe. So that's big, and it's not going to get. So that's big, and it's going to get much bigger. With regard to livestock, people have heard about the National ID program, the Mad Cow Scare, making sure all the animals are tagged. I would guess you would start to see major increases in the amount of RFID tagging over the years. Our business just tripled in that arena, but it could go up by a factor of 10. With regards to humans, humans are the area that is moving the slowest in many respects, simply because it's the area of privacy that they are most concerned about. But right now, as we speak, we are in clinical implementations in hospitals in the Northeast Corridor. Our goal is 25 hospitals in the year. Our goal is every single major trauma center in the United States. Okay, what does that mean? Every single major trauma center in the United States having that RFID capability, because as people come in, they don't even. Some people are conscious, some people are unconscious. But what they're going to push is that the likelihood of you being unconscious is very high, and that the only way in which they'll be able to obtain your information to charge you, okay, but not only that, but to categorize you, by name or whoever they're going to kill or mark off, is by you having that RFID chip technology within you. Okay, it says, as you can see, somebody is not planning on using the RFID technology to monitor and control all the food in the world, but it looks like you put all this together, it really could be the precursor to tracking all the people in the world as well. It all ties together, and notice what their tool to getting the job done. It says it all ties together, and notice what their tool to get the job done. It's called fear. It's a classic tool you use all the time. If you can't get people to buy into this out of convenience, then scare them into it. Create a crisis so you can manage the outcome. It works every single time. But the question is, put all this together, where is it all headed? I think if you recall the opening verse, Revelation chapter 13, it is very clear that this technology, for the first time in mankind's history, really is paving the way for the actual mark of the beast. Okay? And we read that in Revelation, the 13th chapter. But let's get the word here, Charagma. As I said, since this is the year that has been deemed the year of Charagma. Okay?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
It says a stamp, a imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or on the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. So once again, it's going to show you what it means that you are following the Antichrist's system. Okay? But it says a stamp or imprinted mark. When you go into that imprinted, it means to place under the skin. Okay? It says the mark branded upon horses. See, because when you brand a horse, it's not on the epidermis. Okay, it's going to be in the dermis. It's going to be in that second layer of your skin. All right, to where it can't just be taken out easily. And when you go back in the video, once again, he said he's going to make an incision. Okay, and then he's going to put this apparatus in you, and then the mark will be placed in you. Okay, so that's what Charagma is, even though it says stamp or imprinted mark, because most people will think, okay, well, that's just on the surface, but it's really placed in you, just like a brand goes into the second layer of your skin. It says thin carved sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. Okay, because you're accepting that the Antichrist, or the prime Antichrist being Esau, the so-called white man, you're accepting him as your idol. You're looking up to him because you've taken his mark. Okay, meaning that you're no longer going to worship Yahawashi, Yahawashi. All right, and that's why I like this word here. It says graven. Okay, because when you engrave in something, or you carve in something, or you sculpture something, you're cutting into it. Okay, it's just not on the surface as a stamp or an imprinted mark. And even though, like when you imprint or you emboss something, it goes into that next layer, but it's still not. It's still not as it is when you carve or you grave in something. Okay, or you sculpture something. Okay, you're really getting into past that surface level. All right. So yeah, it said the mark of the beast. It says, I'm gonna read that verse again. It's lucky my nose is running here. It says, I think if you recall the opening verse, Revelation chapter 13 it's very clear that this technology, for the first time in mankind's history, really is paving the way for the actual mark of the beast, which it is. That was prophesied nearly 2,000 years ago. As you all have seen all the information provided, RFID is not only designed to be put on the outside of things, outside of products, but the ultimate goal is to be used to put on or inside of people, okay, to be able to track them as well. It says this one technology gives you the ability for the first time in mankind's history to actually pull off the mark of the beast. It allows you to store information. It allows you to track whatever it's on, and it also it allows you at the same time to make financial transactions as well. Just like it said in Revelation chapter 13, allows you to buy and sell with this mark technology. It's everything that is needed to pull off the mark of the beast for the first time in mankind's history. And really, this last paragraph just kind of goes into some, Jesus juice. But yeah, I just wanted to show that, from this book, because clearly information has been given about what the mark of the beast is, and by it being the Rfid microchip. Okay, and so I want to show one more thing here, because I've gone over the Matter of fact, let's just read a couple of these verses. This is Revelation 13, verse 16. It says, "And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Okay, and all that being that mark, that RFID microchip. Okay, because as it tells you, it's going to be mandatory. All right, because during with his mark of the beast system, okay, that system in itself is keyed off of that mark being the RFID microchip. Okay, so that's the entrance, that's your access into that system. Okay, to where Esau, the so-called white man, will now be your quote unquote God. Okay, to determine whether or not you're rich or poor, whether or not you eat or you die, whatever the circumstances are, that is what he is trying to associate himself to be. So this last article, basically I saw from CoinDesk. It doesn't go too much into the mark of the beast, but clearly it tells you that it's going to be used as a form of transaction. So it says, "I got the mark of the beast, and it will hold my Bitcoin." So, and this article came out in March 2019, and like I said, I read through it. It doesn't go into too much of the actual technology of the mark of the beast. It's just more of basically this person just going on a rant about being able to use Bitcoin at their luxury. So really, that's the lesson in itself. Lord willing, you brothers will edify. Once again, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawashi, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect Akim out here during this fight, pushing this word with faith, hope, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom.